And the postman has just brought these magazines. I thought you might care to look at them.
Oh, thank you, Ronald.
Pop, meet Barry McCrory-Chan.
Most amazing. Hootmont.
And this kilt represents the genuine colors of the McClory clan, who have been residing in this community since 1764.
Very gratifying to know that number one son is the first to solve problem that has baffled world for generations. Namely, what Scotsman wears on the kilts.
And isn't it true that this castle has been in the Gregg family for 203 years, and prior to that was used as a hideout by Sir Hayden, the robber baron?
I've heard rumors about it, sir. Should you require anything, gentlemen, please ring.
Thank you, Reynolds. For Chinese New Year, we'll buy you bagpipes.
Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning, Mr. Chang. Host seems to have overslept. And perhaps you shouldn't have kept him up so late last night.
No choice in matter. Sir Malcolm, like many law-abiding men, had pleasure in pastime of studying criminology by conversation.
Well, I'm glad he has something to take his mind off his marital troubles.
Oh? I did not realize our host was victim of universal malady. Lady Gregg, she is expected to arrive today?
Unfortunately, yes. If I seem blunt, it's because I speak as Sir Malcolm's friend as well as his lawyer. His son's the real difficulty. Malcolm adores him, but his stepmother detests him.
Evidently, Lady Gregg's arrival is no cause for rejoicing.
She's about as welcome as the plague. There isn't a soul in the entire community who wouldn't cheerfully read her obituary notice. She's a wicked woman.
Must be reason. What made Lady Gregg wicked?
Oh, I don't know. I've heard some talk of a brother who bullied her as a child. Perhaps that's why she has a passion to dominate. She married quite young, and then her father died and left her a fortune.
And the brother?
I don't know what happened to him, but the first marriage failed, and money doesn't seem to have sweetened her nature.
I take it you're talking about my wife.
I am.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Good morning, Sir Malcolm.
I'm sorry I didn't join you for breakfast, but I was reading until dawn. Sanford's Study of Modern Crimes. Do you know it?
Oh, I never read crime story. They bore me. Cigarette?
Oh, you forget. I never smoke.
Of course, of course. Mr.
No,
Wingate?
thanks, neither do I.
I'm not so virtuous.
Any news of Don?
No, but he said he'd be up this morning. Oh, that may be him now. Or Lady Gregg.
Inspector Forsyth to see you, sir.
Good morning, Inspector. What can I do for you?
I've bad news, Sir Malcolm. It concerns Lady Gregg.
Bad news? What is it?
I must ask you to prepare yourself for a shock, sir. Her ladyship is dead.
Dead? What happened?
We don't know, sir. Her body was found next to her wrecked car on the Perth Road. She'd been shot.
Anything can happen round here when the deer stalking's on. It was probably a stray shot from the hill.
No, sir. It was no accident. The stag are up on the high ground just now. No one's likely to be shooting within rifle range of the road where her ladyship was found.
You mean that...
That she was murdered. I'm sorry I have to break it to you so suddenly, sir.
We'd better arrange to have Lady Gregg brought up here.
That'll have to wait till after the autopsy. Good day, sir.
Oh, I've not seen Master Donald recently. Is he away just now, sir?
Yes. I'm expecting him back today.
I see. Thank you, sir.
Please accept profound condolence.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Chan. What do you make of it?
Too soon to form opinion. In business of crime detection, mind, like umbrella, only functions when open.
Don, it's so good to see you.
Darling, I missed you terribly. It was more like 3 weeks than 3 days.
For me, it was more like 3 years. Long, lonely years. Come on in, darling.
No, Betsy, I've got to be on my way. I just want to get a glimpse of you before driving home. Oh, here. There's a present I brought you from Perth.
Don, it's beautiful. Oh, what's troubling you, darling?
My stepmother, as usual.
She's still determined to separate us?
She'll never separate us, never. I promise you. Oh, Reynolds, bring my things in from the car. Will you take them up to my room?
Yes, Mr. Donald.
Hello, everybody.
Donald?
I'm sorry I haven't been able to share your company, Mr. Chan. Business, you know.
Regrets are equal.
Has my illustrious stepmother arrived yet?
Donald, something dreadful has happened. She's been found dead. Shot.
Shot? Well, who did it?
That is exactly what police are trying to discover.
Reynolds, what's the meaning of this?
This rifle was in Mr. Donald's car, sir. Do you wish it to be left in the gunroom?
That's all right, Reynolds. Just leave it here.
Very good, sir.
Mr. Chan, if you and Barry will excuse us,
Of course, Sir Malcolm.
I want to speak to Donald. Wingate.
Pop, I've got a hunch that the... Hunch, not important. Motive, clue. Things that count.
Yeah, but I think I do have the right clue. Just a minute. It was a rifle that fired the shot, right? Well, here's one, and Donald brought it with him.
Congratulations, but observation was shared by everyone.
Yeah, but nobody did anything about it. Look, here's your proof. This rifle was fired just a short time ago.
Very good perception, but I doubt if this is weapon that terminated victim's life.
Why?
Because if Donald committed crime, he would never bring rifle here. Real murderer would hide gun.
What worries me is the police may dig up certain facts in their investigation.
What facts?
Well, the real purpose of her journey here, for instance. Her threat to sell the estate and make you and Donald live with her in London.
Ridiculous.
Is it? Well, what about your financial difficulties? And her objection to your romance with the daughter of a convicted poacher? And that rifle of yours turned up at a very awkward moment.
Are you suggesting... I've had just about enough of this?
I'm sorry, Malcolm, but you and Donald are going to have a lot of questions fired at you.
Yeah, and I got to face this fact. She was a good deal younger than I am. And it was she who made the marriage a business deal. She got the title, and I secured my son's financial future.
And now all problems, yours and hers, have been solved by a rifle bullet.
She was determined to drive a wedge between Betsy and me. She did everything in her power to hurt us. That's why she had Duncan put in jail.
Duncan?
Betsy's father. My stepmother had him prosecuted for poaching, and he got 6 months.
Tell me, has poaching prospective father-in-law served sentence?
No, he's still in jail.
Will you pardon me, sir? I couldn't help overhearing you talking about Duncan. He escaped this morning.
Escaped? But you can't be serious, Reynolds.
I'm afraid I am, sir. I saw him when I went to fetch the morning papers. He took one look at me and made off for the woods.
Now we have another suspect with excellent motives. Pardon question, but in spite of your knowledge, cannot understand why you did not tell Inspector.
I thought he knew about it. The escape must have been reported. If you ask me, sir, Duncan's at the back of this murder. He had every reason.
That'll do, Reynolds. Mr. Chan, you don't think that...
Not important what I think. What police think is important.
It was a motive they want, then what about me? A sudden death has made me a rich man.
Quite sure police will recognize fact. However, if you need consolation, be assured you are a #1 prime suspect.
But first, they'll have to prove it was murder.
How long has Reynolds been in household?
My stepmother brought him with her. She was married before, you know.
Evidently, husband died.
Yeah.
How?
Oh, I understand that he shot himself.
I heard what happened. I'm terribly sorry, Don.
Have you seen your father?
My father? What do you mean?
He escaped from prison this morning.
And they think that
I don't know. But you remember what he said when she had him arrested? Swore he'd get even with her.
Yes, but that was just his way of talking.
Yes, I know, but I'm afraid the police won't look at it that way.
Oh, Don, this ruins everything for us now.
No, it won't. Besides, he isn't the only suspect. I'm a hot favorite, too.
Don, you didn't.
Of course not. Well, now, chin up, darling. I'll contact you later.
Now, Duncan's not a bad old chap, really. But as for his killing my wife, well, it's ridiculous. The old scoundrel's so nearsighted he couldn't hit a door within 5 feet.
And, Sir Malcolm, may I ask why he was arrested for poaching?
Mr. Chan, you don't need a gun to poach salmon.
Quite correct. No fishhooks on gun. I imagine this one very good for long range, hmm?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it is. It's been to the gunsmith for a faulty firing pin. I get your drink.
Man can be without vice, but never without temptation. Whiskey.
Mr. Chan, about the murder. Have you any ideas?
Always have ideas. Solution more difficult to come by.
Suppose you were in Honolulu in charge of this case. What would your first step be?
First step would be to ask you why you did not appear for breakfast this morning.
And my reply to you, Mr. Chan, would be because I overslept. Cheerio.
Pop, I've got some hot clues. Looks like Wingate did the job.
Wingate? Very interesting, but how does number one son come to that conclusion?
From what I found out in the car. Look, here's a map showing all of Glenturn County, including Perth Road, where Lady Gregg was found dead.
Just ordinary real estate map, not very important. Besides, Mr. Wingate is administrator for all the Gregg real estate properties.
Right. And he also happens to manage and control all of their finances. And according to Runnels, he had been playing the stock market rather heavily. And look what else I found in the car. These travel photos of Honduras and all the airplane schedules. Why would he want to go there unless he had good reasons?
Vacation could be a very good reason.
Yeah, but thousands of miles away?
Number one son seems to forget we are also on vacation, and our home in Honolulu is many thousands of miles away.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, Inspector. I take it you wish to talk to me.
Aye, Mr. Donald, I do. Just a couple of questions. Where were you around 10 o'clock when your stepmother was killed?
Driving my car on the road from Perth.
Well, the same road Lady Gregg traveled on.
Or was it? I wouldn't know.
Do you mind telling me why you went to Perth?
No, not at all. I called on my bank manager to straighten out some financial matters.
Ah, I see. Mr. Donald, you don't have to answer this, but do you own a rifle?
Yes. In fact, I picked it up from the gunsmith in Perth only yesterday.
This gun's been fired recently.
Yes, I wanted to test the trigger action, so I stopped the car on the road and fired a round.
Oh? What at?
A tree.
I'm afraid we'll have to hold this for investigation.
Go right ahead.
And I must advise you not to leave the district for the time being.
I don't intend to.
Good day, sir.
Good day, Inspector.
I would suggest that for good of your health, we take automobile ride. Mr. Wingate, will you join us?
No, I think not, thank you. I'd better go and tell Sir Malcolm about the inspector's visit.
I stood approximately here. Fired at that tree. Over there.
Let us hope marksmanship more fortunate than your choice of time to fire shot. Suggest we inspect tree.
Here it is. I'll get it out in a second.
Oh, wait. Removal of bullet before Inspector sees same could prove as tragic to Donald as bullet that killed unfortunate stepmother.
You're right. But that lets me out, doesn't it?
Only if the gun wasn't fired for a second time at some other object. Isn't that right, Pop?
You don't believe that?
Not important what I believe. Let us hope bullet in tree does not match bullet in Inspector's possession.
Thanks for your help, Mr. Chan. I just want to see what Betsy's up to.
Have either of you seen Duncan yet?
No.
Come, let us go inside.
No, you go ahead, Pop. I still want to do some checking on the person I suspect.
Oh, good. However, do not fail to inform me when about to arrest murderer, huh?
Sure, Pop.
Duncan, you old scoundrel, you. I was wondering when I was going to see you again.
Oh, I got tired of their hospitality, so I just slipped away.
Well, how are you, Duncan?
Hello, Mr. Wingate. I've heard the news. So she's gone, eh?
Yes, she's gone.
You're bearing your grief bravely, man. Who do you think did it?
Well, right now, the police are trying to pin it on Donald.
Oh, never worry. They'll be saying it was me next.
Was it?
You know me better than that, Cousin Malcolm. Though maybe I did bear the old broom a bit of a grudge. Now, what about you? Did you have a hand in it?
Of course not. Have you been home?
Only as far as the tool shed for a change of clothes. I didn't want Betsy to get mixed up in this. She suffered enough through me.
They tell me there's some wonderful fishing in Ireland.
Ireland? Are you hinting that I should clear out?
It might be a good idea, Duncan. Betsy's and Donald's happiness are very important. And I wouldn't like the police to charge you with something you haven't done.
If he hasn't done it.
Ireland. If I do leave, I might need some small change for, shall we say, fishing tackle.
Yes, who is it?
Chang.
Oh, come in, Mr. Chan.
Peculiar. I smell tobacco, but you do not smoke, Sir Malcolm.
No.
Neither does Mr. Wingate.
No.
Warm ashes. Where is secret passage, Sir Malcolm?
What makes you think there is a secret passage, Mr. Chan?
Well, evidently, smoking friend has not disappeared in thin air. Besides, I understand many secret passages in old castles.
You better tell him, Malcolm.
Very well, Mr. Chan. There is a secret passage. I'll show you. It's right behind this bookcase. But Duncan had nothing to do with my wife's death. I know.
So do I. Where? Never expected favorite #1 son to attack poor old father. Reason, please?
Oh, I thought I saw someone sneak in here, so I figure I better check who it was.
Oh, good. Can now leave whole case in son's capable hands.
Thanks, Pop. I'll bring you the murder on a plate.
Most grateful.
Runnels, put up your hands.
I beg your pardon, sir.
I said put up your hands, Runnels.
As you wish, sir.
There's your murderer, Pop. Proof #1. The murderer's weapon, fired recently, found in Runnels' room.
But I've never seen that gun before.
Proof #2. This picture shows that he's an expert marksman.
Very logical. Weapon and ability to use same. Proceed.
Proof #3. You thought that Runnels was just Lady Greg's butler, didn't you, Pop?
Must admit was under that impression.
Well, these letters should prove that he's something else. Aren't you, Runnels?
Yes, Mr. Barry. Her brother. Before my sister married Sir Malcolm, I got into trouble with the police. She suggested I could lose my identity if I acted as her butler. I played the part ever since.
Then why did you kill her?
You're all quite sure that I killed her, aren't you? Lend me that gun and I'll prove that I couldn't have done it.
Stop one up, or I shoot. Put gun down, please. Always unwise for innocent to run away.
I'm a wanted criminal, and I was sure no one would believe me.
Innocent? Why did you stop me, Mr. Chan? He deserves to be shot for murdering that poor woman.
I beg to disagree, Mr. Wingate, but you are the one who deserves bullet.
Me? Why?
First of all, for having over the years systematically robbed your benefactor, Mr. Malcolm, and his wife, while you were administering estate.
That's not true.
Secondly, for having killed her when she found out.
That's a lie.
But most of all, for having planted murder rifle on innocent man, hoping he would pay for your crime.
You'll have to prove that.
Plenty of proof, and more if necessary. While number one son was busy running around maze of false clues, took occasion to use old precept found very valuable in past years. Namely, when lawyer is around, watch for evidence of law breaking. After this, I am sure you have no desire wasting any more time protesting your innocence.
I was a fool to do it while you were around, but I couldn't wait. She was on her way up here to expose me.
Please have wound attended to. Runnels, do not let him get away.
You bet I won't, sir.
Didn't I tell you he did it, Pop?
Yes, my son, you had the right suspect, but for wrong reasons. However, very good try. Now, for right reasons, telephone police.